You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Guys and gals, never here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia, Carlos's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go! Any sign of the others? I saw Nate earlier. I think he found that group of friends he's been hanging out with again. Probably practicing a skit somewhere. I'm pretty sure Brian's on the beach, and as for Carlos, I haven't seen him at all. Well, I'm sure he'll turn up eventually. You done with that? Yes, I am. Thank you. I grab our empty containers and find a nearby trash can. To my surprise, Karina follows right behind me. Want to try and find them? Honestly, all I want to do right now is sleep. Yeah, I'm sure those tests didn't help. I'm suddenly reminded of the nightmare I had earlier. Nope, not at all. I stand with my arms folded, facing the setting sun on the oceanic horizon. It's getting pretty late. Still haven't given us our keys? No, not yet. Every mentor I've seen has been playing up this mystery event that's happening soon. I wonder what it is. I set my backpack down and pull out the orientation packet, then thumb through it until I find the itinerary. Typical. What's wrong? I show her the page and point at the bottom. Super secret event. Pick up your keys. 7:30 p.m. It's cryptic even here. It has to be good if they're holding our keys ransom. Speaking of, what time is it? It's... As she pulls out her phone, loud music starts blaring from the building's main hall. Everyone's attention is quickly drawn as a couple of mentors barge out the double doors holding megaphones. Attention, class of 2022! Get ready for the special event! Welcome to the end of orientation dance party! Woo-woo! Come on in and get your groove on! Dance the night away and pick up your room keys! After finishing their annoying spiel, they hold the doors open as a flood of students start racing for the party. Oh my god! Then it's a dance party! I roll my eyes in disappointment. I could have guessed that. Come on, we have to check it out! She grabs my hand and starts leading me into the crowd. Hey, wait a second! Karina! We're immediately swept up in the mini stampede. Wherever they're going, the only thing we can do is follow along for the ride. Doosh, 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 doosh. Oh. Entering the building's main entrance, we're ushered along by the mentors towards a large room near the end of the chamber. Looking up, it feels like a hallway that rises up several stories, with each floor having its own walkway overlooking us below. The sun finally sets behind us, taking the rest of the natural light with it, and leaving us with only the strobe effect coming from the room. Dance party is right this way! A particularly flamboyant mentor that reminds me of Nate gestures extravagantly as we approach. I would stop to ask him where the keys are at, but the march of the crowd pushes Karina and I along without end. The music's volume increases tenfold when we finally enter the room, causing me to instinctively let go of Karina's hand to cover my ears. Shit, I didn't think it was going to be this loud. What did you say? She leans in towards me and yells. Karina! God, hot tea after a long day at work is so refreshing. She jumps a few paces in front of me and reaches out a hand. May I have this dance? Or at least that's what I think she says. I was never the best lip reader. I put my hands down, allowing my ears time to adjust to the noise. Poor Benny boy, you always have such sensitive ears. Shut up! I smile as I grab her hand. She leads me further into the crowd towards a section of the room where there's more room to dance. It's incredibly dark in here, all things considered. The only thing keeping me oriented is the strobe lights, but it doesn't seem to affect Karina much. I glance side to side, keeping an eye out for anyone I recognize, but that's not going to be easy with this much visual noise. Just let loose, Ben! She turns and smiles at me before starting. Huh. I don't hesitate to join her. Yeah! Woo! Watch out, USL! Karina and Ben are here to kick ass and take names! Karina strikes a pose in time with the music. Booyah! Come get some! I follow suit, complimenting her pose as best I can. I'm sure at a distance we'd probably look like a comic book cover or something. She's right. Sometimes it's better to just go with the flow. That's what Eric taught me. We dance together for several songs, but it doesn't take long for my lack of sleep to start getting the better of me. I mean, this kind of reminds me of the strobe of my PC, of the lights in my PC case, so... guess I've got a disco ball. I'm practically out of breath at this point. Ha! Ha! Karina continues on without a care in the world. What's wrong, Ben? Nothing, just a little tired. You can take a break if you need it. I'm thinking about just grabbing my key and finding my dorm. What? But we just started. I was enjoying hanging out with you. It's true, we haven't had a chance to be together since I moved away. Maybe I'll stick around a bit longer. I do need a breather, though. Alright, just let me grab some punch or something. Why don't you see if you can find some of the others? Eh? I look at her with a slight head tilt. I've noticed you seem to be pushing me towards interacting with them. Of course! Can't have you hanging on my shoulder all 4 years of uni, Ben. I want to see you branch out and make friends besides me. I take offense to that. I'll have you know I stop for a second and scratch under my chin. You what? I slump forward slightly and relent. Yeah, I didn't really do too well in Chicago. See? You need that little push! Now, go take a break and find one of them to hang out with for a bit. I'll be right here if you need me. Booyah! She gives me the peace sign before jumping right into her dance again. As I start wading through the mass of gyrating bodies in the center, Karina's insistence sticks around in my mind. I never really thought about it, but I don't exactly make friends easy. I spent the first year at Bernard Academy kind of just minding my own business. I didn't interact with anyone if I didn't have to, and I certainly didn't enjoy the company of 90% of those assholes. Not until Eric came along, at least. Huh. I shake my head and try to lose the lonely thoughts. It wasn't meant to be, but man, if he didn't come along at the right time, I doubt I would have even put in the effort to apply to Santa Lucia, let alone graduate. As I'm slipping past a dancing trio of girls, I miscalculate how big the gap is between them and the next group. My ass grazes against the white wolf. Whoa, howdy there. Didn't mean to get in your way, friend. She turns to apologize, greeting me with a very thick southern accent. No, it's my fault. I wasn't being careful enough, sorry. The other girls stop as she gets in closer to them to make room. There, that enough for yous? Yeah, thanks. I nod my head towards her and pass on through. Damn, getting through this crowd is a pain in the ass. I can barely see anything either. I'd rather get my key and find my dorm, but I told Karina I'd do this. Well, I'll give it a try. If I can't find anyone, then I'll call her and tell her I'm heading out. Who should I look for? Wonder if Carlos showed up to this. Images of the gruff face and no-nonsense attitude run through my mind. Yeah, I can't say he seems much like the type. I make my way towards one of the walls so I can get a better view of who's all here. While leaning against it and folding my arms, I begin to scan the room in between flashes. I wish they would have went with a better lighting system, but I suppose it fits the theme. Not that I've ever been to one, but I imagine this is what a club event feels like. Just more PG-13? Heh. Oh yeah, just like that! Go. Girl, what's you trying to do? Not far from where I'm standing, there's a fox girl grinding her way up some boar's crotch. Never mind that PG-13 thing. At this rate, we'll be lucky if it doesn't turn into an... Ah! Right as the music begins to change, the strobe flashes white right into my eyes, leaving me disoriented. God damn it! I cover them and start heading for the exit, trying my best to hold back the sudden urge to puke. I need some fresh air. I have to work my way through several groups, but I eventually find a set of doors leading out to Arcadia Field. Luckily, no one's come this way yet. I guess the class of 2022 is a bunch of party animals. Huh. I take a deep breath of the coastal air. The temperature right now is warmer than I expected compared to Chicago's nights, but still not as hot as everyone always hypes California up to be. Second y'all, water time. Alright guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back into it, shall we? Behind me I can hear the faint rumble of music coming through the walls, but it's not enough to break the quiet atmosphere. With hands in my pockets, I take a few steps away from the building. Hopefully this bit of dizziness will pass. Strobe lights always kill me. My gaze eventually finds its way to the sky. Wow. I can't say I expected to be able to see the stars like this tonight, especially with all the light pollution. Now that I think about it, I haven't really been able to see a clear night sky since moving to Chicago. I remember when Karina and I were kids, we used to have another friend who tagged along all the time. Wish I could remember his name. I think it was Jason? It's been so long, but I remember he was really into space. His family once took a camping trip in the Colorado wilderness and offered to take some of his friends along. Naturally, Karina and I leapt at the opportunity. The kid had this badass telescope he got for Christmas the year prior, and it was his first chance getting to use it in the wild. Yeah. I think that was the first time I ever got a good look at what the real night sky looks like. It's different from what I normally see. Something about being away from any interference just brings out the majesty of it. I squint my eyes a bit, trying to maintain the magnificent view, but the light posts lining the field and its paths begin to turn on, eventually drowning it out. I take another deep breath, feeling the remaining disorientation fade away. With my attention returned to the world before me, I'm able to see the field a lot clearer. The light posts brighten up the paths, revealing all sorts of little details you wouldn't notice well during the day. Out at my bench, I happen to catch a glimpse of something surprisingly familiar. Feeling my heart leap a bit, I take the opportunity to approach him. Hey, what are you doing out here? When I'm practically close enough to sit next to him, I can see he's staring down at the cell phone in his hands. It doesn't look like he heard me. Hey, Carlos. Ben? He looks up at me with his usual I'm not amused expression. Mind if I take a seat? If you must. He scoots over slightly so I can fit in better, which is surprising given the terse response. Thanks. His attention returns to his phone. I'm tempted to look over his shoulder to see what he's up to, but that'd be rude. So... The way his fingers are moving, I think he's texting someone. How is the meeting with your faculty advisor? Huh. He locks the phone and slips it into his pocket. I was enjoying the silence. Sorry. I can go if you prefer to be alone. No. It is okay. I do not mind. So he says. That sigh earlier definitely didn't sound like I do not mind. He leans forward, placing an elbow on both knees. It went the way I expected. Not much to say. Get all the classes you want? I guess. My advisor insisted I get a general education requirement out of the way. You sound excited. I give him a slight smile to show I'm being sarcastic. Alright, I'm actually going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon and YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!